to the Jira Life, the place to find news, events, and interviews with the Atlassian community's movers and shakers. Because we didn't choose the Jira Life chose us. Thank you to Revyz for backing us up and making the Jira Life possible.
What do we have there, Bob?
We have, we have a little bit of something that we'll show a little bit later on, but, and that actually comes to us live, and Alex is trying to enter the stream. He really should be getting some sleep. But
I was going to say, I was like, that was a little tease there, wasn't it? Oh, my Lord. Hello, friend. And Rodney.
Yes.
Oh, we got a little echo, though, guys.
We're trying to figure out who mutes.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Ooh.
Okay. Are you muting? So I'm muting?
Whichever.
Okay. We'll put the speaker up so we can hear him.
I like that you can't sit next to each other somehow. You couldn't share the camera.
We just shared a cab.
Excellent. And you've shared an Airbnb, so plenty of sharing has been happening.
We're really far away though.
So remember the advice about noise canceling headphones?
Yeah, it's all the way over there.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So
I'm
you
sure,
guys look
I'm sure
like
all the dancing that Alex did, he's too tired to move. So,
Actually, I'm waiting on the footage from Sajid, but he did dance.
I have a clip that I am going to show later that was on our Slack before. So I'm going to show it. And just to make sure that we stay within the good graces of YouTube, I am going to show it muted. So, but
that would be a good idea.
Huh?
That would be a very good idea.
Yeah. So first impressions, how was it?
I'll leave it the new kid.
I wouldn't do it again.
You want to or would not?
I would not come out here.
Oh, wow.
I'm actually kind of surprised. It seemed like you were having a really good time. The travel internationally was opening up opening up your mind, but but of course you just don't want to do it again.
He has done nothing but complain about
the smell.
Everything.
It stinks so much.
Oh my God, everything's so old. Yes, Alex. They measure in millennia, not centuries.
I mean, Europe has been around, definitely at least 1,000 years before the United States. I wouldn't be exactly surprised.
Yeah. So again, anybody out there, you might be familiar with Alex. So you have to know that any opinions he's expressing, right, come from a very personal place, his own personal experiences. And
do not represent the feelings of TJL Media LLC as a whole.
Or me, because I'm not part of the LLC.
You cannot deny the fact that it's stinky and old.
Wow.
You kept seeing it going on television. I'm like, there are American cities that smell just as bad, and do not lie to me and say there isn't.
I don't go to those cities, but okay.
So this is what happens when Alex crosses like an extreme red line. He's like, ah.
The experience was good. I wouldn't do it for team though. Like team was like, eh.
Okay.
Well, maybe because it's the second time in a year, I can imagine, right? That so much happens in Anaheim, and so then it's like, how do you maintain that a second time?
It felt, it was just like a polished version of whatever they've already announced.
Yeah.
Rodney,
like whatever didn't make it into the Anaheim announcement, they just saved it for this one. And I'm like, but there was nothing new or revolutionary or exciting or wow. But it was good. All the events made it worth it.
What do you think, Rodney? Your thoughts?
I mean, he's not wrong about the announcements.
But
the announcements were now his opinions on the trip overall. I thought it was a fantastic trip. I enjoyed myself immensely.
Good.
It's great. Again, it's been a year since I've seen many of these people for reasons, but it was great to see a lot of the fellow champions that we just don't get to see but once or twice a year.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And especially knowing, right, hearing some folks already commenting that team in Anaheim in 26 is potentially very challenging for them to get to, that
Yep.
you might not get to see them again in the spring, right? And so that could change things up, right? I could well imagine, depending upon how that goes, how that attendance is and whatnot, how things might shift. I mean, in theory, they've already got a couple more planned out, right? They've already maybe secured locations and whatnot for 27 and beyond, but who knows?
I've heard a potential rumor, nothing confirmed, about where Team Europe will be in 26. I've heard a potential rumor where Team US will be in 27, but none of these are confirmed, so I cannot share them on the podcast
US
just yet.
or North America?
I will tell you that the common theme or the common sentiment on the floor was, where are the customers at? The expo was empty. Like there was
I remember,
nobody in there.
Rodney, I feel like you had a similar experience last year too at Europe.
Yes.
But it was small. I mean, the expo was smaller, much smaller than Anaheim. Like I was able, like 2/3 smaller.
The expo hall was smaller, but they managed to fit more in it last year. The thing that really struck me is there was less partners there this year than there was last year.
Yeah, I was, with our very limited time, I think I was able to go to every booth still. And Anaheim, it was a whole court, like a whole section I didn't even get to out there. But yeah, no, the booths were much smaller. There was C-Prime had like the biggest one, and Tempo had a pretty big one. Draw.io had a pretty big one. Google had a big one. And then Adaptivist, and then that was like Appire, and then that was it.
You know, so did you guys get to talk to Fun Man Andy? Because I would be curious about his take, right? As this is his kind of business. He talks about ROI on doing events. So, you know, are two of these sustainable? So, okay, you did get to experience it.
That's actually part of the video that I have to mute. There is an appearance by the Fun Man himself.
I got to experience Fun Man. I didn't even get to talk to him. I got to.
That being said, he wasn't around a lot.
He was. I did not see Fun. I saw Fun Man 3 hours ago for the first time.
Same.
He was not anywhere. He came to work. He was taking meetings. He was doing calls. He came to figure business out, not to come to team.
Yeah, and that's why people go, that's one reason people go to team is to work.
I mean,
and I know Bob was
but like offsite, like nothing related to the event itself.
Gotcha. Bob's ready to kick off a video though.
I'm ready to kick off a video. So a little vignette of you guys on day 0, basically when you attended the port of call. And
Day 0? Yeah, I think it's day 0. Yeah. Team 25 Europe. We went to the port of.
This is what happens when the
ship happens. Ship did happen. And it just ended, and we have about an hour between when it ended and the after party. So they brought us to the in-between party. And so here we are at the beautiful beach. And so yeah, it was fun. A lot of lessons learned, and probably some of the best conversations I've ever had at a team conference happened at this port of call here.
I mean, like the first conversation of the day was just talking with Atlassian partners about how to deal with content creators.
Yeah, we just got on stage. We didn't even know we were going to be on stage, but Ronnie put us on stage, and we were on stage.
And then Alex kept talking, which is great. I know every time I get Alex on stage, I don't have to do anything. He's going to take care of it for me.
As long as I'm not holding a microphone, I'm okay. But yeah, it was good. A lot of good open conversations. Learn about the Shatham rule principle?
Something like that.
Shatham principle? That was fun. But yeah, also here with a bunch of other partners and creators and champions and just people in the Atlassian ecosystem. And then we got another group having some beers down over here.
Yep.
There, somewhere
down there.
But yeah, it's been fun. Again, I don't know that Atlassian can top this, because this is probably my highlight so far. It's only the first one, but I don't think Partner Day is going to be as exciting as this protocol was.
Oh, we're not going to have as good a day probably till Tuesday when the expo hall opens.
Yeah, but lots of fun.
And you guys are going to want to find us when that expo hall opens, because if you prove you're subscribed to this channel, we got a ribbon for you.
Yep. All right, we got to go back to the after party. So, see ya.
Was that a little bit of foreshadow? Alex saying this is the highlight? And maybe that just set the tone for you.
I'll tell you. So I've been to a few teams, and my experiences at team have evolved year by year. And this year's perspective and eye-openingness of the Atlassian ecosystem, it can't be topped, right? The frustration and the emotion of the partners is so profound, and it is so deep right now. And like the port of call was just it's an ace, and it's open to anybody, mainly attended by partners. But it was an opportunity to have real open conversations, real authentic conversations, and like really truly understand the perspective of the partners and customers, whoever was there, and really just talk about not complaints, but how do we move forward given the new realities. And it was just some really deep conversations that I just, it was that day made this entire trip worth it for me.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah,
I'm still not getting Alex back out here.
Yeah, probably not. So I think, so the question, I have a passport. Sarah, do you have a passport? Or even better, does
we
know
have
a passport?
To get a passport. But I also have better flights coming up soon, direct out of St. Louis to the UK. So I'm excited about that because maybe that'll make things a little easier. But anyway, I digress, as I usually do. That's really interesting to hear you say, Alex, right? Because I wonder what will, if anything, will come of that. But really appreciate people coming together. And as you said, or I heard in my mind when you said it, at least there's a curiosity about it and a future focus about what can be done. Because the reality is we're dealing, it's so big now, right?
But a
lot of things are happening that are out of control. But then how do people?
Yeah, it was just so beautiful to see the partners like all empathize with each other and see how they're all kind of in a very similar boat. But then all of them trying to go like, okay, so this is a reality. Like complaining isn't going to do anything. We've done that for years. Like we got to now figure out how do we survive as a business. And so everybody's just kind of like brainstorming. When Rodney and I even ran a session of like, how do you work with content creators to do brand awareness and just get your app known out there? And we were brainstorming. We were fielding questions from the marketers that were out there.
And it wasn't just working with creators. It's working with the content platforms. Alex gave some really deep insights about working with YouTube and the kind of things you have to do to be successful on YouTube, whether you're working with a content creator or trying to do your own content.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And then a beach trip.
And then a beach trip.
we couldn't go to the bar, so they made us take a tour to the beach and back. And Chris Cook led us to the beach, and then I went dipped my toes in the ocean because I'm like, I didn't come this far to not at least touch the water, and then I went back.
Right.
Well, I mean, there you go. You've hit ocean number 2.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. Well, 3. I think I've done Florida, Pacific, and now whatever this was.
So, fun fact: I have touched within a week's time the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Ocean or Mediterranean Sea.
Yeah. I was kind of teasing. It's late. You guys had a long week. So yes, the Mediterranean is the sea.
So as the producer, I have a wonderful gift. I have a way of making you talk for about the next 23 minutes about what you saw in at the keynote. And you guys don't have to say a thing. You can kind of like relax for the next
We'll wake you up when
minutes.
it's done.
Fair enough.
All right. So here we go.
Welcome to our Team 25 Europe keynote wrap-up, reaction, thoughts, everything.
Everything is literally the statement. I mean, a third of my notebook here is just keynote thoughts.
Yes. So what are your initial thoughts?
If you're a Jira admin in the traditional sense of the word, you're about to be extinct.
Yeah, if you are DC Jira admin, that's gone.
Yeah.
If you're a cloud Jira admin, that is slowly going to come to an abrupt stop, and you better start becoming either what I'm going to call either a Rovo admin or an Atlassian cloud admin.
Rovo admin, I think, is going to be the new term.
Yes. So the big takeaway was, and I love this, I don't know if you have it on your notes, but Rovo is everywhere, Rovo is everything, and Rovo is something else. There was 3 everywheres. Very Big Brother vibes. I don't know that I would have used them, but catchy nonetheless.
Because Rovo knows everything about their organization and their context via that teamwork graph. Rovo works everywhere they need it, including their favorite apps and workflows. And Rovo helps everyone in their organization partner with AI, whether they're a designer, a marketer, or an engineer. That's why we keep growing our library of connectors to your favorite SaaS apps, so you can extend your Atlassian experiences to all the places you work. Since launch, we've added more than 50 connectors, including our latest launching today, from Databricks, DocuSign, and HubSpot. And we light up Rovo across all your favorite apps. 6 months ago, we told Jira, Confluence, and Jira Service Management customers that Rovo was now included in their subscription. Well, today I'm happy to announce Rovo's rolling out in more Atlassian apps and collections. It's now in Jira Product Discovery, in Focus, in Talent, and Bitbucket, and your platform apps. Because besides those apps, it's not just for premium and enterprise customers anymore. Starting today, it will be available to all standard edition customers too, and no extra cost.
Actually, that was my note, was Rovo is Big Brother.
Yes. But the concept is, so Atlassian's doubling, tripling, quadrupling, 5xing, 10xing, 100xing down on Rovo, and the future is Rovo.
Absolutely. So let's begin with Rovo. I mean, I know they really started with Atlassian Ascend and the kind of future of cloud and how they're making cloud
I think it was a very
enterprise ready.
Yeah, it was a very subtle hat tip to DC and say, you guys are gonna have to come to the cloud, period.
Yeah, they are upping the limit on Confluence. I found it interesting doing Confluence first to 250 users, 250,000 users. But yes, as we were saying, Confluence now supports 250,000 users.
And I get why they did that, because there's always so many more Confluence users than there are technical Jira folks. But that's going to change.
I mean, not only that, Confluence is an easier product to learn, to manage, to administrate. I mean, we've always been saying Confluence is a good kid, Jira is the bad kid.
I just think it makes sense. I think I see everybody in an organization usually using Jira. Not everybody uses, everybody uses Confluence. So yeah, next up, we had units. Should we briefly mention units?
Units, yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Basically, the concept is you're going to be able to specify a group of users, set them up as unit, and they're going to have access to a dedicated set of sites, a dedicated set of policies. This is going to make things so much easier to manage.
And I think it's genius because it's something we need. Right now, everything's kind of just thrown into the teams and
yeah, if you're managing the org, it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah. So being able to organize your teams is going to be very important. Being able to organize your goals is going to be very important, because you just can't have it all just be thrown out there. Organizations are large, and you need to be able to segregate your data and compartmentalize your data. And so these units are going to make a lot of sense.
Yep.
Now, thanks to all this incredible momentum, you are upgrading to the cloud more and more every day, bringing thousands of teams, hundreds of sites, and many sensitive workloads. Now, for our largest customers, we understand that you need even more control to manage the complexities within your organization. That's why we're introducing units. Flexible, secure boundaries that can isolate sets of users, apps, and data across your sites. Each unit has its own user directory. You can select exactly the right teams for collaboration. And the flexibility to add multiple sites and apps that best fit your needs. And best of all, every unit has its own dedicated teamwork graph, Rovo, and AI context. Now, there's never any data sharing between units, only inside of them. Yet at the same time, admins can set policies and permissions by unit to meet any specific requirements, like data residency, or managing which teams have access to Rovo and AI. So whether you have multiple subsidiaries in different locations, you work with external clients that need to be segregated, or you have other specific organizational requirements, you can design your units based on your needs, and they're coming early next year.
The upgraded admin experience, they went into a little bit into that.
Just a brief second, but all that means is you all get a new UI, and there's now 4 UIs for admin.atlassian.com that we all have to worry about.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to hate it for probably about a good 6 months, and then we're going to hate whatever replaces it.
What else did we get?
Assets.
That was big.
Yeah, Assets is now its own global app. Before it was a part of JSM, which I've always felt was a mistake because I have had software users, Jira software users, who wanted to use Assets and they couldn't because it was part of JSM.
Yeah. But here's my concern with that though. Now that Assets is available for everybody, everybody's going to jump onto it. It's a nice shiny object. Assets are not easy to configure.
No, they're not.
And it didn't look like they had any Rovo to help you create said assets. They were just saying Rovo can leverage the assets once they're ready to go. And so I think that's going to be a gap, and this is the first major shift that I'm seeing for the admin. You're going to have to learn assets. If you thought that was an ITSM, JSM thing only,
nope,
spoilers.
It's a full Jira thing now.
No, it's a Confluence.
Oh
thing.
yeah, that's right. It was Confluence because they showed that demo.
Yeah, it's an Atlassian thing now.
Yeah, they showed a demo where they had a table that was automatically generated from the assets.
And then you can see the asset data and update the asset data from within Confluence.
Yeah, real time.
So it's an interesting shift. So if you don't use assets or you're kind of staying away from assets, now's the time to rip the Band-Aid.
But to help all customers gain this power, Assets is now becoming a global platform actor, helping not just service teams, but every team define, connect, and manage their most important business objects, digital, more importantly, physical. And we're connecting all assets into the teamwork graph, allowing search, AI applications, and connected workflows across your knowledge objects, digital objects, and physical objects.
Teams. Changes teams. The fact that teams are actually going to be, they're going to understand the org charts natively from your HR systems.
Yeah. This is big. So every individual in your company is going to have, it's a unique individual now, and a unique identifier.
Yeah.
And Rovo and Atlassian's AI is context aware of who your manager is, who your subordinates are, and when you're speaking to send it to my team, it will know who your team is. When you're saying send it to my boss or send it to my leadership, it will know who those are because it just understands that context.
And this was an ask I was given back in 2017. This has been a long time coming, where I've had to tell people for a long time that Jira is agnostic when it comes to the org chart, and now it won't be. The Atlassian toolset will not be. I'm mixed feelings about it, but something I'm really hoping they take advantage of with this is the approval chain, being able to set approval to the requester's manager rather than just having to hard set it.
Yeah, absolutely. What was that the team?
Goals with OKRs.
That I care less about.
Yeah, that one was just kind of, they mentioned and then they went by.
I went to the goals booth earlier though, and I told them I can't use your goals, and they're like, wait for units to come out. But until units come out, folks, don't waste your time with goals yet. It's not ready.
And then they got really deep into Rovo.
And for the next hour and a half.
I think the real big thing, the real big bit of news, we knew from Team 25 Anaheim that Rovo was included with a certain set of tools on the premium and enterprise plans.
Yeah, so that was Jira, JSM, Confluence, enterprise and premium subscriptions. But today,
that is
no longer
so much larger pool.
Yeah, so they went all the tools. If Atlassian builds it, it's got Rovo.
Yeah, and that's not the only change, yeah.
No, there was one more big one.
Yeah, if you are on the standard plan, you now have access to Rovo.
Which begs the biggest question. What happened to AI being a premium and enterprise only feature?
Apparently
Are
not.
they walking back on that?
A little bit.
Because they didn't announce it. And Mike has told us point blank, Atlassian Intelligence is different than Rovo. But over the last 6 months, there's been a lot of this. Atlassian doesn't know those identities. And I'm very curious to see that pricing plan on AI. Atlassian Intelligence features have always been premium and enterprise only. And Rovo naturally fell that way. But now that you pull Rovo this way, what does that mean for Atlassian Intelligence?
I mean, we could go a step further because not only is the Rovo being included in the standard plan, they're also now offering it as a standalone product.
That's not new though. They ever since Anaheim they announced for $5 you'd be able to bring on anybody you wanted.
Yeah, but it's
So-
interesting they reiterated that.
Yeah.
So going through my notes here, the default search in Jira
That's
is
changing.
now Rovo.
Yep. So if you don't like Rovo yet, you're gonna become very, very acquainted, is the right word, with Rovo. Because it's gonna be everywhere.
Now this does solve a problem here because if you've ever done any searching and you don't know exactly what you're looking for in Jira, it is a minefield because you're like trying to guess what string you need to look, what was in the summary. I've lost issues in a pile doing that where I didn't remember the summary, I didn't remember what project it was in, and it just kind of got lost in the pile.
Yeah, so this is interesting because we gotta echo that Rovo can search everywhere.
Yeah.
So we're not talking just Jira work items, we're talking Confluence pages. We're talking Google Docs. We're talking Gmail emails. We're talking literally anything of the over 50 connectors that Atlassian has here.
Yeah.
How? I don't know, but it can do it.
Yeah. Rovo Chat. They showed it pulling an image from a marker board. Now that was a very AI-generated marker board. They showed in the demo.
But that's powerful, right? So the premise there is you can take a picture of something and Rovo can now interpret that thing into work items. It can convert it into Confluence pages. It just can convert it so that you can actually now use it instead of just having an image.
Yeah. Take the data they took from the image, format it, display it, find relevant data for that image, research that, and then send that out to an email.
Yep.
Which brings us to the real big announcement, I think. Skills.
Yeah, so I'm thinking micro agents.
I'm thinking something like the slash commands we saw, especially in the early days of like Slack, where someone built a slash command for ordering pizza and stuff like that.
So Atlassian introduced skills, and basically your agent, while it's specialized, you can become even more specialized with the skills.
Yeah, and they showed several examples. One of them they showed was a web search where you have Rovo search for some term or some smart value on the web and include that in whatever you're working with.
Yep.
One thing that these smart skills are going to be able to integrate with is the MCP servers for various services. And
so I'm excited for that one, because that one's going to open up your possibility to ask Robo to order you pizza, right?
Or as I was saying to some of the Atlassians this morning, making a joke about the old XKCD comic, sudo make me a sandwich, I really would love to tell Rovo, sudo make me a sandwich, and have it like order a sandwich order on Uber Eats or something.
Yeah. So a lot of possibilities are going to be opened up there, but this was more dependent on third parties enabling MCP on their end.
Which is not widely available yet.
Eventually, a couple
the
years
promise
from now.
is.
Yeah.
All right, so we start moving into Studio. And some of the automation they're showing within Studio where you could like set a schedule for a prompt to just do it on a regular cycle.
Yeah, triggered. That caught my eye.
Yep. Basically the idea is you set when to run for the trigger, what the prompt is, and then kind of mold it from there.
I enjoyed the canvas, which is basically because that's one of my biggest frustrations with Robo right now is at least in Studio, you try to build it with your prompt, and God knows what comes out the other end. And so the Canva kind of pauses it. It's almost like a debug block in
Yeah.
coding where you like stop and you can step through your code. It's kind of like that, so you can step through the Rovo agent and you can kind of edit it manually, or you can tell Rovo, not quite, add this, tweak that, modify this. And then the best part is you can then test it, which is not something you could do right now either.
And that is huge.
And
you get
to be clear, you test it before you publish.
Yes. It's not a matter of I have to publish it, hope it works, and then debug it after the fact. You could test it before you do anything, and you're good to go. Another big feature coming to Studio, Forge apps. Vibe coding with Forge.
Yeah, basically you tell Studio in English, I want this. And the best part is, this might be very ambiguous. And Rovo's like, no worries. Let's figure out what this is together.
Yeah.
And so you'll go back and forth, a little rally, and eventually you'll come up with a polished app that you can actually use.
Yep. So yeah, it gives you a chance to clarify the regs. I really think that the Forge Studio, we're going to think of the Forge Studio in 2 years' time, like we thought of the workflow editor back in 2010s into 2020. It's going to be the place, if you're an Atlassian admin, where you're going to spend, where most of your power is going to lie.
It's going to, it's going to be in Studio. Now, pivoting off of Studio, we got a couple of other applications you're going to be spending a lot of time in.
Mm-hmm.
They made 2 new announcements, a desktop and a mobile version of Rovo.
And I thought the desktop demo was really interesting because what they showed, and this is going to make a certain subset of Jira users extremely happy, is you loading up your Rovo desktop, you importing an Excel file and creating issues from that Excel file. Do you know how many times I've been asked that as a Jira admin in my entire career?
Yes.
And now they can just do it themselves. I don't have to worry about it ever again.
Now, we had one major announcement here on the Rovo side that, I don't know if you have it on your notes or if it's next, but that was you can have third-party agents be called within Jira or the Atlassian tools.
Yes.
And this is big because essentially you can, Canva was the example that they used, you can assign something to a Canva agent that is specialized in making thumbnails for his YouTube channel. But the question is, to be an assignee, you have to have a license.
You not only have to have a license, you have to have a specific permission. You have to have the assignable user permission in that project.
Yeah.
How does that work when it's not a real person?
So I was talking to some of the partners too on Monday, and their biggest concern was, if these are users, how do we bill for them? Are they going to tap into our stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're basically flooding the user base of the Atlassian tools. And so lots of
unknown questions or unresolved questions.
Unresolved questions.
We're Atlassian admins. The term is unresolved.
Yes.
But it was definitely interesting. I think I turned to you when I saw that demo. I'm like, we could absolutely use this on the Jira Life to resize all our thumbnails for everywhere we need it.
Yeah, because we always have to make one for YouTube, then one for Bevy.
Like 2 for Bevy, 1 for Spotify, 1 for YouTube. It's always a whole exercise.
Yeah, we just tell it, this is the dimensions, here's the image, go.
Yeah,
output.
Here's what needs to be on each one.
Done.
All that, yeah, it's done.
So after that, we had something on Teamwork Collection here?
Yeah, we're looking into Teamwork Collection. We start going into what are the different collections and what are the improvements and announcements for those.
I think, those uneventful, in my opinion. They just went through examples of how the different collections, they have Teamwork, they have Strategic, they have the Software Collection that was announced today. And these are just bundled apps, Jira, Confluence, and the like. And they just gave us demos on how they work together, like use cases.
There was one announcement for Confluence that I think caught your attention because it definitely caught my attention.
The Create with Rovo?
I mean, that also caught my attention, but one I was really thinking about was the audio brief.
Oh, that was interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't like his demo, his example though.
Oh, his example was terrible.
His example was, so now you too can be listening to Confluence notes while you're driving.
I'm like, no. While I'm exercising, please. While I'm driving,
Probably
please not.
But to be fair, he said you can do Confluence while you're driving before we found out there was an audio version of what he was talking about.
Yeah.
But he led with I wouldn't have led with that one.
Yeah, that scared. Yeah, I was not cool with that.
I like the create with Rovo.
Yes.
I think that was interesting. You kind of just feed it and data comes out. And again, you can tell it, I like this design from this website. I like this design from over here. I have data over here. I have data over there. Feed it, go put it together. Give me something. Give me some requirements. And it'll just magically do stuff.
They talked about the change to Jira Spaces, which I am so fatigued about all the name changes with Atlassian, but this one I don't hate. How many times, and I know we've had this argument before, where we're trying to discuss and tell people, look, it's called a Jira project. That doesn't mean it is literally a project.
Yeah.
So they talked about that. They also talked about Rovo's project management skills. How big is that one?
I don't know. We'll find out.
I thought it was pretty big.
Everything that we're talking about that we mentioned for these last 15 minutes, you gotta take it with a grain of salt until Atlassian actually proves us that it works.
Yeah, because the demos they gave were more mock-ups.
Yeah, they were very tailored.
They talked about DX and their developer collection. That was only so-so. I didn't feel like there was a lot of meat on those bones.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. The rest of it is just collections, bundles. The only thing I can think of, though, is that we still don't know how much a strategic collection costs. It's free for Align users, which it's very rich people, but for us poor people, no idea.
Yeah, the Align or strategy collection is Align, Focus, and Talent. And the key thing there is you get Focus and Talent if you pay for Align. But if anyone's ever tried to price out Jira Align, that is very much a rich people app.
Yeah. So.
And the last thing they really went into there was DIA.
Which was the most subtle way to make analysis without legally making. I love Mike for that.
That was such a tongue-in-cheek moment.
That's how I would have done it.
What was it you said to me in the middle of that again?
You were Scott, their legal counsel.
So he compared me to the legal counsel just because I try and keep him out of trouble.
And Mike found a way around it. So kudos
As
to Mike.
you do.
As I do. So anyway, that was it. That's a recap. Lots of announcements. A lot of improvements. I wouldn't say anything to drive home about, but lots of improvements over what we've had. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in some next videos.
All right, see ya.
We may be missing an Alex.
From his chair.
It's okay. I'm okay, letting him take a nap or take a sleep. You guys
He
still
went to go pack, and I think he may have fallen into a suitcase.
I'm trying to figure out physics.
Physics?
Yeah, you gotta see my suitcase right now.
He's trying to pull a Californian technology situation.
So I gotta fit in there somehow.
So I think there was
the good thing is I didn't have to ask for swag this year. I went to the booth and they already had a goodie bag for me.
They did multiple times.
Like, here you go. Here you go.
So basically for Team 26, all I have to do is just wear an Alex Ortiz mask and just kind of walk around, and the swag just kind of comes to me.
Yes. I still have swag for you at my house from last year's Team Europe. Then they're like, "Oh, give this to Alex next time you see him."
Bring it because I have the Team 25 Anaheim swag for you at my house, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Not just make our TJL shirts and then just have on it, "Give me your swag." Just be
I will say this. I had a reputation at one point as the swag hound in the Atlassian ecosystem. And thanks to Alex now, I look normal again.
Taking that over for you.
I was very conservative. Very conservative this time, knowing that I was gonna have to travel across half the world.
Yeah, you have to lug it back home.
I was very conservative. I this was half the size of what I got at Anaheim.
So what about the opposite of getting swag? How was that?
We got skits for people.
I think I think to be how did the ribbons go?
Yes, to be more obvious.
I think they went over. They didn't go over as well as I was hoping, but they still went over well. There's a lot of people asking about them, and more importantly, there's a lot of people asking the people who were wearing them about were they wearing.
Yeah, it was a little wild card. I think we just needed to be more aggressive, but we're working most of the time, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Atlassian, most days we okay, so every night we do a planning meeting where we go over the next day's schedule, and it was just
I'm trying to point.
okay. I'm going to get up here. Here's where the schedule started today, and I erased most of it, but it went all the way down to here,
Right.
and that was just today.
It was intense.
Atlassian kept us busy, and what we didn't have filled from Atlassian, we managed to fill ourselves from partners.
So I have, speaking of Atlassian, I have 2 interviews that I'm kind of on the fence of, because the total time for these 2 interviews with Atlassians, the video is going to take a full 20 minutes, and
Can we drop those individually?
You can. We
Well,
will.
we're going to put some in here.
Why? We didn't last time.
Well, we're doing it this time.
Okay. Well, we got 19 minutes and a 20-minute stream. Sure. If you're math, because I've been not mathing all week.
Well, that's why as producer, I'm telling you it's close. We can talk for the next 20 or so minutes.
Any last minute questions? Otherwise, I'm going to go to sleep.
What was before you go to sleep, and pleasant dreams when you do, what was the announcement that you were most either impressed or you liked hearing the most? Or
I'll tell you the one that stood out to me the most is the Robo desktop.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the concept of Robo today it's in Jira, it's in Confluence, it's in the Atlassian tools, awesome. 50 connectors, awesome. You choose to opt into those connectors, and they're your productivity tools, they're your Outlook, they're your Gmail, they're your Canva, they're your whatever you want, but it's productivity tools, and it's very work. Great. But the desktop app is now personal to you. I think it impacts me more because my personal laptop is my work laptop. But I think if you're a business, and maybe it doesn't impact you as much, but to me, I don't want Robo knowing my personal life.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little while ago, I was like, can I not just go look for something and then not go to my email and have 18 ads about it? Like, can anything just be mine anymore and the world doesn't have to know as I sit here broadcasting on YouTube?
Yeah, that was my biggest one. The desktop app, I think it'll be interesting, along with the mobile app. But they didn't really talk too much about the mobile app.
They did not. We saw a in-person demo from it from our buddy Sharif, or I did at least. I think Alex was behind the camera.
Yeah. Yours has to be you're gonna order Domino's through Robo now.
I mean, as long as the MCP server endpoint exists for a service, you can connect Rovo to it now, or you soon will be able to.
So if Domino's makes AI order, then you can just have Robo order me some pizza, and it should show up.
Yeah. And I'm thinking back. I mean, that's fun. That's quirky. I'm thinking to the Domino's index they use to monitor like the Pentagon, where the number of Domino's orders will go up before a major operation.
Yep.
And I'm just like, okay, now that's automated. What does that mean for the world?
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Means that any computers hooked up to the outside internet are going to start receiving ads for Domino's. I'd worry if that happened.
Soon to make me a pizza.
But other than that, the rest of the stuff, the cool one that I liked was Canvas for Robo, like being able to like, and to me it felt like a debugger in your IDE, right? If you ever put those breakpoints and you're like, let's stop here and let's step through and let's see what we see. Like, it's basically debuggers for Robo, so you can like tell Robo this isn't quite right. Let's try something different, and you can like it'll fix.
You could
things
either
inline.
highlight it and say change this, or you could just edit yourself.
So that I think
We
was
can just
interesting
make
too.
it better and better. So
Yeah.
that we're
But the
less and
concern
less
that
necessary.
the concern I was telling everybody though is like your traditional project manager or even executive or Jira user or anybody, they're not gonna have time to go figure all this stuff out. Like it just needs to work. Like it's cool to geek out over, and I think us here, this community, it's gonna be awesome, and I think our job's gonna change drastically because of it. But your average user, customer,
Yeah, I
they're not
don't
gonna
remember if it was with you guys where I said it recently, but yeah, that like we're not through a digital transformation yet. If we're not through a digital transformation, we're still a good distance away from the complete AI transformation, right?
I agree.
You need to read Carlotta Perez. She talks about how the major how like the major changes in technology and process have kind of led through the industrial age. The industrial revolution was one, then like factories, then you know, and we're actually like on like the fourth or fifth one. And I think AI is going to kind of move us to the next one.
So one of the biggest concerns that I know both me and Alex raised at different points, and I've heard over and over again since, is what do some of these announcements mean for permissions? Are we going to have to make Rovo an assignable user to be able to use some of these agents, or do we have to make the specific agent an assignable user to be able to assign to some of these agents? Do we have to limit who could maybe use Forge to or use Rovo to have Forge make an app, as well as limit who can install those apps? There's a whole bunch of questions around agents that were not well communicated during this week.
Because like the way they painted it, right? Going to our Domino's example, if like your marketing team wants to like hire or order, 50 boxes of pizzas if you hit a certain milestone or a goal, you can create a task in Jira and then assign it to Domino's AI agent that they create to automatically create and order pizzas. And then you'll assign it to them. And then when you hit that milestone and the status changes, like 50 pizzas show up to your doorstep.
But what does that mean for permissions?
Yeah, who pays for the license? How is this just it's
and we're
a lot of money.
I mean, we're as admins weren't the only ones asking this. The app developers were asking this too.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the permissions are gonna have to become more fine grained. There are things that you don't want your agents to do. So
I think
that being said, you guys poo-pooed on Software Collection. I've been watching the videos. You guys been poo-pooing on Software Collection. Here's what makes it excited. It's throwing down the gauntlet to GitHub and GitLab. It's saying you guys are entrenching AI capabilities through Microsoft Copilot or through GitLab's AI. This is kind of, tightening the integrations and making kind of the standard repo and test and viewing of the development process, pipelining. It's going to kind of give Atlassian parity with GitHub and GitLab on it, where it wasn't as Bitbucket had been falling behind to some extent to GitHub and GitLab on this capability. Now Software Collection kind of brings it back.
I'll agree on that statement whenever Atlassian phases out non-collection apps and subscriptions. Because until what you describe benefits anybody who buys a collection.
Mhm.
But anybody who's already using a la carte, like I don't care for it, I guess. You have to buy the collection, and you can't buy the collection unless you're a new customer. And anybody who's a new customer is probably not debating whether they're going to use GitHub or Bitbucket or GitLab, because most people they're already in one of the tools, and there's no incentive to get out of Jira because like you have to like rebuy everything like it's a different package because Atlassian sells it differently.
Yeah.
For the collection, so I think Atlassian has a lot to discover in how they sell and market their collections versus the
You
a
think
la
they're still
carte.
maybe figuring that out? Just that whole, right? The ability to sort of retro provide.
Yeah, I just feel like
Because right now,
if you're a
like,
software
get it shipped. We got it shipped. Now we just got to figure out how to.
How to
Like,
sell- yeah, I just feel like if you're a software development company, you probably already have source code repository in mind. So you're really just looking at the newer customers, and the newer customers are going to benefit from this. So awesome, but again, that's a smaller subset, I would assume.
I've been thinking a lot about what Mike Cannon-Brook said during our interview, where he's thinking, of course, about the current 300,000 customers, but he's also thinking about the next 300,000 customers. And the fact is, a lot of that number are going to be companies that don't even exist yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And or
No, that's what I said. I think that it's going to be great, but I don't think we're at those 300,000 customers yet. Like it's still bringing that part out. But it's going to be great. I think the collections are going to benefit. I don't know why Atlassian is just beating around the bush, though, calling it collections. They should just call it Jira. That does it all.
I mean, Jira. I've been saying it for years. Jira, but for. I mean, I think Daryl Young,
I would call it
Daryl Lee.
Jira buffet.
I think Daryl Lee jokes that I've trademarked the Jira, but for sentiment.
or just the Jira value meal.
Yeah, it's really just Jira with everything else in it. Because even so, we asked David Meyer, right? Like, or Dave Meyer, like, hey, like, you rename spaces in projects, like you have spaces in Loom, you have spaces in Confluence. They're all part of the Teamwork collection. It's just a product. It's a SKU. It's a single SKU. So at some point, it's just like
I'm still thinking the play, at least right now, with Jira Spaces is eventually Jira and Confluence are just going to be Jira.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Could very well be. Sarah.
Yeah. Sorry.
What was the one that kind of made you go, what announcement?
I mean, I gotta agree with the guys, right? I don't know that anything really jumped out as a kind of moment on there for me. Probably need to go back, listen to some of it. Again, a lot of it is, let's imagine that if team in Anaheim, team North America, that drew the picture, that team Europe just sort of filled in some of the shading on that, right? So nothing that I'm like, oh yes, gonna go tell everybody about this, right? So
yeah.
Well, I mean,
Sarah, we replaced you, Sarah.
Alex replaced you.
We found another Sarah.
Alex.
Yeah.
I mean, the other Sarah's fun and all, but she's not our Sarah Wright.
Well, who was it?
Sarah wrong.
I'm going to tell her you said that.
You can't.
It was Sarah Bayer.
Oh, yeah.
Bayer?
I want to meet her. Yeah.
She's awesome. I liked her. We
one
went
from Milwaukee?
I bet she is.
She was. She lives in Spain. She's been in Spain for like 8 years.
But she did go to Team Anaheim
Last year.
Well, last 6 months ago.
Gotcha.
Brandon does, and I have a strong sense that Brandon is an Atlassian. Welcome to the show, Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
But yes, they did announce general availability for customer service management, CSM. We will be dropping a talk with Edwin Wong about that We just did that interview today, so I'm not sure when it'll be coming out of channel, but we will be talking about that more on TJL. But
yeah, and I took 6 tests.
oh yeah, that's right, Alex. You don't have an update for that yet, do you?
No, I took 6 tests, and
How did you do?
I passed 6 out of 6.
Yay.
At one point, I think I was just pissing them off in the I think I was just pissing off Atlassian at one point because I would walk in and like they'd sign me up, and like 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, I was like right back, and they're like, yeah, just sign me.
I don't know whether you upset them more with that, or I'm just, yeah, sure, I got nothing better to do. I'll take an exam.
The lady inside was like looking at me. She's like, "You okay? Like, do you have technical problems?" I'm like, "No, I'm done."
So, at one point, I think this was on Monday. Alex went to go take his Tuesday, correct? Alex went to go take his afternoon exam. I had 2 hours to kill, and I was bored to tears. So I go visit the certification people upstairs because I already knew where that was because I already passed my ACP 420 at that point. Spoilers! I passed my ACP 420.
Which is like
But well, we
of the other ones.
We told about it yesterday during the study session. So
But I knew where the certification place was. I went up there, started talking, and our good friend Rikent was there manning the station. I'm like, yeah, I'm just here on board. I'm waiting for Alex. And she's like, you want to take a cert? I'm like, and I wanted to say no. I went to like, no, that's ridiculous. You need to study. You need to prepare for these things. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, sign me up for one of the ACAs.
Bob, I just want you to remember and quote him when he says he had 2 hours to kill because he was bored. When we're short on these sponsored videos, we promised our sponsors, but he had 2 hours to go and get them.
I mean, look in the mirror much?
I was taking a test. What were you doing?
So which ACA did you take, Rodney?
I took the Jira Software Essentials because that's my bread and butter.
And the story gets worse. That was the last test I took. So naturally, Revyz like, "You're taking this one?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "That's the one Rodney took. You better pass it."
No pressure.
Revyz said, if you do not pass it and Rodney did, you will never hear the end of it. And the unfortunate fact is, she is 100% right. I would not let him hear the end of it.
Right. Now, did you guys compare scores?
We did. And I'm still happy to say he did beat me.
All right.
By 4 points, but he did beat me, to his credit.
So a question then, huh? Because aren't there like 25 on there?
They're about
that one had 28.
I think 3 of them were trial ones.
Yeah. Who was doing this? I had read to the match. She said I missed 3, but I got a 96. So I felt like I missed 1. But I don't know.
Yeah, I just remember on one of them, there was a term that was relatively new for me, but otherwise everything else.
I was like this close. So I was kind of mad. Like, I was this close to getting 100% on one.
I halfway debated when I finished mine, pulling in Alex and just pulling in another one. Like, yeah, sure, I got time.
It was fun though. It was fun just taking the test, just seeing what.
Yeah, I'm running my gauntlet the long way around. I'm, as a certification SME, where I will help create the exams or create the updates to these exams and get my certification in the process. So if you're looking at 6 ACAs, I'm about 2 of them through. So 4 more to go.
Apparently, I'm some sort of a certified specialist now or something like that.
Probably. Yeah. Well, if you did all of the ITSM ones, you got that one. There's 2.
Okay. I got that.
And then there's also the certified Agile DevOps. And that is
probably
basically Jira, like Jira and or Confluence.
Yeah, I did all those. I did everything.
You probably got that one too. So I have, in the closing minutes, I have a couple of videos to show, and they're not going to take long. The first one is a gift from you, Alex, and I need to put it out there. It's evidence that you were on the dance floor.
I just want to rub it in your face.
and they're Alex is the one on kind of filming, I'm guessing.
He is in this one, but I have seen video that Sajid took that showed Alex actually dancing. So I have seen the actual evidence.
Yeah, Margot dragged me onto the dance floor and she was like, "You're not getting that." And so I tried to do the whole like pull me back, but then like 8 people grabbed me and stuck me in. I was like, "Oh great, we're going in."
I am so happy for Margot to do that. I mean,
for those 8 people.
Yes, I'm glad Sajid got the correct posse to get you out onto the dance floor.
Well, it's a numbers game, right? That and I haven't eaten for 5 days, so I weigh like 10 pounds less than I did.
Well, that's what you wanted.
So I was going out for a walk and enjoying some of the surf because they were right on the beach during all this. I come back and Alex literally looks at me. He's like, "Where the heck were you?"
Wait. Is in this numbers game, you think having Rodney keep you from being on the dance floor is going to work? I don't think so.
I think his hope was that I would be a sufficient anchor
back the other way.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
I would have helped them.
You'd be like not it.
Yeah, it was fun though. Very small dance floor for the number of people, and then it poured. It just started raining.
Yeah,
it was hard.
See, I think that sounds kind of delightful to be. I don't know, because I wasn't there.
Nice finishing end. In movies, rain signifies cleansing, right?
Right.
Yeah. And Bob, we're gonna have to do a paper expense report on a $40 cash taxi we took.
Okay.
Just FYI.
40 euro, not
40 euro.
Yes.
Taxi we
A
took.
bit more.
So
we're gonna closing comments.
I think Bob has one more video for us.
I have one more video, but before that, there are so many thanks to go around for you guys in Barcelona. So I do want to kind of take some time and give thanks to Alluvium, Collabsoft Ventures, Service Pocket, Resolution, and number 5, help me out.
Revyz,
of course, who
for backing us up and
give us confidence. We also want to thank those on the home front, in particular, Ms. Lina Ortiz, who has been working a hot editing software bin to get all of the videos that are dropped on YouTube. Having
done that job for you guys in Anaheim, I'm immensely thankful for Lina.
Yeah.
God, I cannot say that enough.
Right?
She was a trooper. She just like totally in there.
Totally like know that once we finish the Builder Summit, Lina and I will be incommunicado for until next year.
Incommunicado. I don't know.
Excommunicado from the internet.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Alex. The flowers that you give Lina better be big
or whatever it is that
you
particularly enjoys.
Oh no. Well, I'm gonna stop taking her to Disneyland. That would probably be her favorite gift.
You should get her a puppy. You should get her a puppy.
Yeah,
I think she's earned it.
No, guys. So I did mess up. I made a boo boo while I was out here.
Oh no!
Public apologies are the best.
And you should know. You should know what's going to happen here. I may or may not have approached Anu, gave her a hug, took a picture, and told her, "We're doing a live stream for your farewell. We'd love for you to come." In front of her comms person, completely undropped. And then I went and said, apologized and said, I've got approvals from everybody. And so Anu's coming on to say goodbye right before she logs off at the end of 2025.
I could cry. So
and he did this without even asking me if we're doing a long stream for Anu. So guess who has to put together a long stream for Anu now?
Still.
But yeah, we got yeses all the way around, so we just gotta hold them accountable and set a date. And
I think we can find people who come hang out.
until the email arrives on April 1st.
Well, we don't have that
Well,
long.
again, I do want to add some things to the ones Bob's saying. The Angela Leaf, Arseni, and the whole staff at Atlassian have been fantastic. I do have some news to share with the CGO crew after the show, so I'm hoping everyone will stick around. Alex has already heard it, but
Well,
we'll
let's
talk
wrap
about
the
that
show
too.
up then.
All right.
Let's wrap up so we can hear it. Sorry, friends.
All
Yeah.
Wait,
All right.
close it off with our sign off.
Yeah. So this year for the sign off, you guys did it proper.
Didn't choose the Jira Life.
Jira Life chose us.
Bye,
All
everyone.
right.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next week. Thank you for listening to the Jira Life. Our hosts are Alex, Dr. Jira Ortiz, Rodney, the Jira guy Nissen, and Sarah, #IBelieveSarah Wright. Our producers are Robert King Bob Wen and Lina Ortiz. You can catch us as we record this podcast live every Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on YouTube at The Jira Life. Be sure to join us and the other Jiramigos of the Peanut Gallery each week to ask questions, add your comments, and tell us what you're up to. If you can't join us live, you can still catch the replay on YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell while you're watching. You can also find us as a podcast on Apple iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you think this podcast deserves a rating, it would be much appreciated, as it will help others discover the Jira Life. Because we didn't choose the Jira Life. The Jira Life chose us. Thank you to Revyz for backing us up and making the Jira Life possible.